G'day, mate. I'm FPRO. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another FPL video. So it's been a week since I uploaded a video. I was away, but I'm back and looking forward to Double Game Week and Blank Game Week 25. In this video, we're going to be looking at the most transferred players in and most transferred players out and deciding whether they're good moves or bad moves and who are the best players to take out and bring in for them. So game week 25 is a really strange game week. So we have blanks and doubles. So the teams that will be blanking is Man United and Newcastle, also Brentford and Brighton. So the reason they're blanking is because Man United and Newcastle will be playing in the League Cup final this weekend. So their fixture will be called off. And the teams doubling are Arsenal. They have Leicester away, Everton at home, Everton, Villa at home, and Arsenal away. Liverpool have Palace away, Wolves at home, and Wolves have Fulham away and Liverpool away. So really, we're going to be looking at probably targeting Arsenal and Liverpool because they do have the best fixtures, but also keeping an eye on Everton as they have shown a little resurgence under Sean Dyche, beating Arsenal and getting a good result over the weekend. So we'll be looking at probably mainly players from them teams, but we'll go into who are the top transferred players in and transferred players out. So now for the player that's been brought in the most by all of you FPL managers with over 176,000 transfers in is Cody Gakpo, the Liverpool midfielder. So coming in at 7.7 million, he is a really good price to get into that Liverpool kind of attack and midfield. He is also only 3% owned. And with a great double game week Liverpool have of Palace away and Wolves at home, there's no wonder a lot of you FPL managers are bringing him in. Bear in mind that he does have Man United at home in the fixture after the double game week, so in game week 26. But after that, they do have Bournemouth away, which is another good fixture. He is projected to score just under 16 points over the next 3 game weeks. Although there's something to bear in mind that Jota and Firmino are back, which is likely to maybe decrease Gakpo's minutes maybe in a double game week and maybe in future game weeks. Another thing to take into account is, although he did start slow in his Liverpool career, he has scored 2 goals in 2 Premier League games, and his expected minutes over the next 2 is 110, so around 55 a game or maybe 81 game, and then coming off the bench for another. So you should definitely get a start and coming off the bench for the other game. For me, I do feel like he will start both games. It just all depends on Liverpool's game against Real Madrid midweek in the Champions League. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on who starts that game. If Gakpo does get a rest, then yeah, definitely a great option. But if he does play, he might be not as likely to start, say, the Wolves game. But he is a very good option and a cheap option to get into that Liverpool midfield if you can't afford to go for a certain Mohamed Salah. But let me know below, do you think Gakpo is a good option and are you bringing him in? So next up, with just under 140,000 transfers in, it is Mohamed Salah, coming in at 12.6 million, so still very expensive and one of the most expensive players, if not the most expensive player in the game. He is still 23% owned, but we're not too sure how many of these players are still playing the game. A lot of people would have had Salah at the beginning of the season and then stopped playing. So yeah, we don't actually know that figure, but there's 23% of you that actually have started the game own Salah. He is expected just over 22 points over the next 3, which is really good. He is also a good captain option. So again, he has the great fixtures of a double game week, as mentioned with Cody Gakpo too. And he is an easy swap from KDB, because I know a lot of you have brought in KDB for the double game week, for Man City's double game week, and now it's a very easy route to Salah by taking out KDB. He has got 2 returns in his last 2, but there is only 1 goal in his last 7 Premier League games, which is not the best. Since we came up from the World Cup, that first game he did get a brace, and then since then it's only 1 goal, which is shocking for someone of that price. But with 2 returns in his last 2, he's a great punt, probably really low owned, and a good captain option, or even a triple captain option. I do have my chip, so I'm looking at playing it on Mo Salah, but we'll talk on that a bit more in the videos later on in the week. But yeah, definitely, if you have KVDB, it's an easy swap to Salah. If you have Bruno Fernandes and you have the money, or you've got an easy downgrade somewhere else, then go for Mo Salah. He's probably the best Liverpool option. But let me know below. Do you think Salah's worth the money? Is he going to perform? Let me know below. So now to the third most transferred player in. You'll find that there's a theme to this video, and it is another Liverpool asset. So that's 3 Liverpool assets we're talking about. It seems if you don't have Liverpool assets, it's time to bring them in for this double, and especially for that Bournemouth game too. So the third player is Trent Alexander-Arnold. So just over 127,000 transfers in. He says he's just under 18% owned, but again, effective ownership is not going to be that high. So a really, really good differential. He's also expected just under 19 points over the next 3 game weeks. And Liverpool have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 4. So looking a little bit better defensively. And now with Van Dijk back, you're probably expecting them to start putting together a lot more solid performances and a lot more defensive clean sheets, basically. Trent has got 3 returns in his last 7 Premier League games, which is not great for Trent standards, but it's pretty good. Although he is very expensive, coming in at over 7 million. He is on corners and free kicks, as we all know, and he could be the perfect Trippier replacement. So Trippier does have a blank game week, but we'll discuss that later on in the video. No secrets, but Trent could be a great option, a kind of massive punt, because if he does get the 2 clean sheets and maybe an assist in 1 or even a goal, then you could be on for a mega haul from a player that not a lot of people own. And as I know a lot of people don't really have money in a defence like that anymore, especially as Reece James inconsistent, Cancelo's gone. So there's not a clear and obvious route to get Trent. But if you do have the money and you want to look into maybe take out Trippier or take out Luke Shaw, then yeah, Trent is a great option for this week and for the next 3 weeks. But let me know below. Do you trust Trent? Is the question. And do you trust Liverpool's defence? Let me know below. Nick Pope is the most transferred out player this game week so far. So he is 5.5 million. So quite a lot of money for a goalkeeper in this day and age where you've got Kepa for just over 4.5 or whatever it is now. Pope is 23% owned, which is not highly owned, but it is. I know a lot of people do have that double up with Trippier and with Pope, and he's only expected 7.4 points over the next 3. So Newcastle were kind of guaranteed for clean sheets a few weeks ago, but they haven't had no clean sheet in the last 3 games. And they will blank this game week and then have Man City away in game week 26. So not the best. But another thing to keep in mind is, for me personally, if you have another goalkeeper that will play this game week, then I would play them and keep Pope. The only reason I'm saying this is because they will play in game week 28, and that's kind of a player that you could have almost guaranteed, is guaranteed to play. Another thing to bear in mind is a lot of people are probably selling because they think he will miss the game against Man City or even get 3 games, but he's actually suspended for the League Cup final, so he won't miss any Premier League games. So just to repeat, Pope will not miss any Premier League games. He'll be missing the final against Manchester United. So there's no need to worry about a red card. But if you do get a chance to get in a double game week goalkeeper that does have a fixture in game week 28, so say someone like Ramsdale, if you don't have triple Arsenal already, or Pickford, then it's probably a good move. But if not, then just play your second goalkeeper and keep Pope. But let me know below, do you think it's worth using a goalkeeper transfer in a double game week? Are you kind of wasting it? And if you have no goalkeeper, who would you go for? Let me know below. So next up is Mr. Reliable, Kieran Trippier, a player that I'm sure, for me, I'd never thought I would see on this list, given how consistent he has been throughout the season. But he has blanked the last 3 games, and like I said, with Nick Pope, you haven't kept a clean sheet. Newcastle haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 3 either. Another thing to note with Trippier, so he is 6.1 million, obviously defender, and he is 66% owned. and he's only expected 11 points over the next three, which is not bad, considering it's a blank and Man City. But the thing that kind of worries me is the clean sheets are drying up, say, not gone. And the attacking returns since game week 17, there has been none. So you're not guaranteeing the clean sheets like you were, and there's not that attacking returns as consistent as it was earlier on in the season. So for that reason, I'm all for taking Trippier out if you kind of have the space and you have the money to go up to someone, or you need to save money and go down to a double game week player. So for me, if you are looking to take out Trippier and you want to get Tarkowski, then great, and then that will allow you to spend money maybe to get Salah or to get Darwin Núñez or Gakpo or even someone like that. Or another thing is, if you have the money already and you can go up to Trent or Robertson, then I think that's a good move. But in terms of other defenders, I'm not too sure. For me, it's Tarkowski, Alexander-Arnold, or Robertson is the only way I'd be moving on Trippier. So someone like me, I have Botman and Trippier. I've been thinking about this. Ideally, I'd like to take out Botman, as I don't really want to double up anymore. But because of Trippier's price and the money, the money kind of Trippier costs it's just too good not to sell for Trent. And I have Botman on my bench, 4.4 million. It's not the end of the world if Newcastle don't get a clean sheet, especially as Trippier's attacking returns are drying up. So you're kind of maybe relying on the clean sheet a bit more, which they're not getting anyway. So for me, it's a sell Trippier if you can get Tarkowski, Alexander-Arnold, or Robertson. But let me know below, are you going to be selling Trippier? It's a big risk as he is highly owned, but maybe one that can pay off if Trent decides to get his shooting boots back on and his crossing back on. But yeah, let me know below if you are taking out Trippier, who for? And if you're not, let me know why not. Just under 140,000 transfers out is Almiron. He is now 5.6 million and he is 27.4% owned. However, a lot of people, again, are taking him out because of that blank, because of City away in the fixture after that. He's only expected 8 points over the next three, obviously, due to the blank and City away. But again, the thing to take into consideration is he will play in game week 28. So if you have room on the bench, I know a lot of you probably won't, because you do have Rashford, you might have Trippier, you might have maybe someone like Bruno Fernandes or Luke Shaw that you want to keep, then I completely understand that. But Almiron will play in game week 28. So for me, though, I kind of agree with people taking him out. One return since game week 18, so not great. And that was last week when everyone took him out as well. And Newcastle have only scored 3 goals in the last 7 game weeks, which is not great. The team is not scoring goals. They have been solid defensively, but they've kind of let that go as well recently with no clean sheet in the last 3. So I think it's, definitely time to jump off Newcastle assets, or at least the treble up. Another thing to kind of take into consideration is Brentford and Brighton do have a double game week in game week 27. So if you do go, say, Almiron to maybe someone like McNeil for Everton, who has a double game week, then they have Forest, and he's also in set pieces, would be a good option. And then you could jump onto Matoma, which is a similar price point, the 5.6 sort of price point between 5 million and 6 million. So kind of take that into consideration too. You don't have to have Almiron's replacement in for long, as you can go for Matoma for that double game week in game week 27. But yeah, let me know below. If you have Almiron, who are you taking him out for? And if you're keeping him, let me know too. Let me know below anyway. Who's on your watch list for this week? Who are you buying and who are you looking to sell? And I'll make sure I jump in the comments and give my opinion. Also, if you wouldn't mind just giving this video a like, it's completely free, it costs nothing, and it really, really helps out the channel. And if you are new around here, subscribe to the channel for FPL content, 2 to 3 videos every week, and help you climb your mini leagues and climb the ranks. But if